Most people think getting rich is about earning more money. Get a better job, work more hours, find a side hustle, earn more, spend less, repeat. And on the surface, that sounds completely logical. But here is something strange. There are people earning $40,000 a year who are quietly building real wealth. And there are people earning $100,000 a year who are completely broke by the 25th of every single month. Same planet, completely different financial realities. So what is actually going on? Here is what nobody tells you. The game of money is not really about how much comes in. It is about what happens inside your head when it arrives. And today we're going to talk about one specific moment, one number, that has the power to completely rewire the way your brain thinks about money forever. That number is $10,000. Not because 10,000 is a magic number. Not because it makes you rich overnight, but because of what saving it does to you psychologically, emotionally, and practically in ways that most people never see coming. Let's talk about why. Meet Zara. She's 28 years old. She has a job she likes, a small apartment she is proud of, and a social life that makes her happy. By most measures, life is going pretty well. But money is a different story. Every month feels like a race she cannot quite win. Rent goes out. Groceries go out. The car insurance renews. A birthday comes up. And somehow, no matter how carefully she tries, there is nothing left by the end of the month. Not because she is irresponsible. Not because she is lazy. Just because life costs exactly as much as she earns. And sometimes a little bit more. And deep down, Zara carries something heavy that she does not really talk about. Fear. Not a dramatic, obvious fear. A quiet one. A background hum that is always running. What if something goes wrong? What if the car breaks down? What if I lose my job? What if I get sick? This is not just Zara's story. This is the story of the majority of working adults on the planet, living paycheck to paycheck. Not because they are failing, but because nobody ever taught them the one move that changes everything. So what is Zara's real problem? Here is the thing. Zara does not have an income problem. She has a cushion problem. There is a concept in psychology called cognitive bandwidth. It basically means the mental space you have available for thinking clearly, making decisions, and planning ahead. And researchers have found something fascinating about financial stress. When you're constantly worried about money, when you're always just barely covering your expenses, your cognitive bandwidth shrinks dramatically. Your brain is so busy managing survival that there's almost nothing left for strategy. This is why financial stress feels so exhausting. It is not just the money. It is the constant mental load of managing uncertainty. Every unexpected bill is not just a financial problem. It is a mental emergency that consumes your focus, your energy, and your ability to think long-term. And here is the cruel irony. The people who most need to think clearly about money are the ones whose financial stress makes clear thinking the hardest. This is not a willpower problem. This is not a discipline problem. This is a very predictable psychological response to a very real situation. But there's a way out, and it starts with $10,000. Here is what actually changes when you save your first $10,000. The first thing that changes is your relationship with fear. Right now, for most people, money and fear are completely tangled together. Every financial decision carries background anxiety. Can I afford this? What if something goes wrong? Am I falling behind? The moment you have $10,000 sitting safely somewhere, something shifts. The car breaks down. It is just a car repair, not a disaster. You have a slow month at work. It is just a slow month, not a crisis. Someone in your family needs help. You can actually help them. That background hum of fear gets quieter. And when fear gets quieter, clarity gets louder. Suddenly you can think about next year. Suddenly you can think about investing. Suddenly you can make decisions from a place of choice instead of panic. The second thing that changes is your identity. Before you save $10,000, saving money is something you plan to do. It lives in the future. It is always next month, next year, when things settle down. The moment you actually do it, saving money becomes something you are, part of who you are. When a behavior becomes part of your identity, it stops requiring willpower. It just becomes what you do. And the first $10,000 is the moment that identity is born. You're no longer someone who wants to save. You're someone who does. The third thing that changes is access. Before you have savings, money is a one-way street. It comes in, it goes out. You're always starting from zero. The moment you have $10,000, money becomes a two-way street. You can invest. You can take a calculated risk. You can say no to a bad job because you have a runway. $10,000 in an index fund, left untouched for 30 years, grows to somewhere between $60,000 and $100,000 without you doing a single thing additional. That is compounding, and compounding needs a starting point. Your first $10,000 is that starting point. It is the seed. Everything that grows after grows because you planted it. Now here is the insight most people miss. Why do so many people with good intentions, never actually reach 10,000? The answer is something called present bias. It is the tendency to value what is available right now much more than what is available in the future. Your future self, the one with 10,000 saved, the one who sleeps without fear, feels like a stranger. And it is genuinely hard to make sacrifices for someone who feels like a stranger. The people who build savings do not fight this with motivation. They fight it with systems. They automate their savings. They open a separate account. They name it something real, Freedom Fund, or Never Panic Again account. They make the future feel close enough to protect. Open a separate savings account today. Name it something meaningful. Set up the smallest automatic transfer you can manage every payday. Not because the amount is enough, but because the habit is everything. 18 months after she started, Zara checked her account. $10,042. For the first time in her adult life, she was not one bad day away from disaster. The fear got quieter. She started sleeping better. She opened an investment account with half. She kept the other half as her wall. That is the real gift of the first 10,000. Not the money. The person you become while earning it. The people who build lasting wealth are the ones who started building their cushion early and never stopped once they started. That path is open to every single person watching this. The only question worth asking is a simple one. Where do you start? If this video clicked for you, hit the like button. It helps more people find this content. Our next video covers the one invisible habit that quietly keeps most people stuck at the same income level for years, and the surprisingly simple shift that finally breaks the pattern. See you there.